Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching another video. Tonight we're going to be checking out this incredibly lightweight folding EDC knife from CIVIVI. This is the Biophase. And as always, guys, if at the ending of the video you want to purchase this awesome folding EDC knife from CIVIVI and help support the channel, make sure you check out the link in the description below because we do get a commission if you purchase this knife. And of course, before getting started, just want to thank the good folks out at CIVIVI for sending me this knife to review. Let's get started. Let's begin with some quick size references just so you get a better idea for the overall size of this knife. Here it is next to a large permanent marker. Here's a look at them vertically next to each other so you can compare the overall thickness of the knife next to the permanent marker. Let's take a rough measurement here for the overall length with the blade closed, or from this end to this end. Looks like we got just about 4 3/4 inches overall length. Let's have a look at it with the blade open. And back to vertical. Now let's take a rough measurement with the blade open from the tip of the blade to the end of the handle. And looks like we got just about 8 inches. Let's have a look at the top of the knife here so you get a better idea for the overall thickness of this knife. Now, because of how the G10 scales are cut, you got to be a little bit careful here. So let's have a look at the liner here. So here's a pair of chopsticks. The liners are about the same thickness there, but you can see that the G10 scales on the side are a little bit closer to that thickness. Let's see if we can run a ruler across here, seeing how thick it is with those scales sticking out. That looks like it's about 3/8 of an inch thick, which is still incredibly thin. Let's have a look at the thickness of the blade over on the thumb ramp area, and that is pretty impressive. That looks like it's just about the same thickness as 2 US quarters. Let's see what that comes down to on our ruler right here. So that's just about 1/8 of an inch thick. Let's get this knife on the scale so you know how much weight you're going to be putting in your pocket. Holy cow, coming in at 2.6 ounces. That is pretty light. And just in case you're wondering what 2.6 ounces feel like, well, if you got a couple of AA batteries around the house, weighs almost as much as 3 of those. The Biophase comes in 4 colors. This is the coarse black G10. There's a green burgundy and a really nice wooden handle with Damascus. But I really like the contrast between the satin finish and the coarse black G10. Let's have a look at your opening mechanisms. There are 2. You have your flipper lever here. Little bit of jimping up here in the front, and all you got to do is pull down on it. And although it's not obvious, you basically have a couple of finger holes cut here in the blade, so you can either flick it from the back, or you can use it like a thumb stud and flip it from the front. Blade absolutely flies open from the handle, pivoting on a caged ceramic ball bearing pivot. Your locking mechanism and your release button are the same. It's this push button lock right here. When your blade is deployed, locks it into place. When you want to release it, you just give it a push. One-handed operation is a breeze. Let's have a look up front at the blade, starting at the thumb ramp area. We have a little bit of a curve here where your jimping is. Get you a closer look at that. Tip it sideways so you can see the aggressiveness there, and a little bit of a curve here. Really interesting clip point blade here, guys, right? It's skeletonized to save on weight, and look at all this beautiful blade work in here. And look at that point. Oh my goodness. When you turn this thing sideways, just a sinister looking clip point. Look at that. They give you a really nice finger choil up here. A lot of space if you want to creep up here, choke up on the blade, so you get a little bit more control if you're doing some detailed knife work. Handle fits perfectly in the hand for that. And this makes it very easy to sharpen the entirety of the edge from the tip all the way down to the base here. And if you put your finger right on here, and if I can catch it just right, you can see that there's a small curve in here. And that's because we have a hollow grind here. You can see that there, there's no space. It's not completely flat, which means that this is going to be a really nice slicer and cutter. Steel being used is Nitro V. It's got about 13% chromium, so your corrosion resistance is going to be really good. And because it does contain nitrogen and vanadium, it has increased hardness, meaning that your edge retention is going to be really nice, and it's going to be able to accept a really sharp edge, as we're going to see in just a little bit. And in general, Nitro V is a very easy to maintain and sharpen steel. I'm going to bring you guys in closer again just to have another look at the blade work done on here. Look at that. Now, this is not your traditional clip point blade, right? You have a curve here, another curve here, and another curve here. Might be too busy for some people, maybe even borderline fantasy blade. To me, this looks like something you might find in the movie Chronicles of Riddick. But I kind of like it. When you pair the skeletonization here with the handle, I think that looks pretty good. Let's get a closer look at this coarse G10, but really it isn't. It's not rough at all. I'm going to turn it sideways here. You can't see much texture sticking up here. And look at that. You can see straight through it. Look at the airiness of this knife. Subtle arches here that fits really nicely in the fatty portion of your palm. You got 2 finger grooves, so you're going to go 2 and 2. And with the lightness of this knife, it just feels so comfortable in the hand. Here's a look at the top of the knife again with the blade open. Complete airiness, right? No backspacer. It's so light. Here's a look at your pocket clip. And it is reversible to the other side. And this is going to be tip-up carry only. Here's a quick look at what this knife is going to look like when you stick it down in your pocket. It should absolutely disappear. Pretty deep carry. Let's see how this edge cuts coming right out of the box. Oh, gliding through there. Let's go slow. No toothiness. Not grabbing at all. Sharp. This knife should have no problem going through some paracord. Let's try it on some cardboard. So easy. Easily done. Once again, guys, this has been the Biophase from CIVIVI. Just a ton of great things to love about this knife. It's thin, lightweight. You're not even going to notice it carrying in your pocket. It's got a ridiculously unique look. Sharp blade, fast coming out of the box. If you're looking for an EDC knife that's going to grab a lot of attention but still be functional, this could be a good option for you. Well, alright guys, this is the ending of the video. Remember, if you want to purchase this awesome knife from CIVIVI, make sure you check out the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.